Welcome to Unwinding with Support Group, a mental health podcast by licensed professionals where we discuss mental health topics from a real-world perspective, all while having a drink. So hang out, have some laughs, enjoy the ride, and maybe learn a bit. Welcome to another episode of Unwinding with the Support Group. As usual, I am Marlene and I'm an LPC. I have Kelly with me, and I have Dr. Alex. So it'll be exciting. I today am drinking on my favorite wine as usual. It's the California Moscato that I have been having for the last few weeks. Kelly, who is also an LPC, what you got today?
I have a bottle of Voss water and a margarita.
Ooh. And we also have our Dr. Alice, who's our resident traumatologist. Dun, dun, dun. And if I had to bet money, I'm going to go on a limb and say Alex has water.
Mm-hmm.
Going once, going twice. Ding, ding, ding. We are correct. But not just any water. It is in my Stanley cup. That's right. Will you feel my Stanley? Okay. And it is purified and it is amazing. But, who am I to brag about what is 75% of us, But I will also say, what's quite hilarious is that I just came from my mom's house. And Kel, guess what I had at my mom's house?
What'd you have?
I had a margarita. Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah,
So exciting.
because we got these new like slushy icy makers, and so we made our own and it was great.
That sounds great.
And the whole time I was thinking about my favorite movie, Practical Magic, where they have
Yes.
midnight margarita.
Midnight margarita
Yeah.
with the lime and the coconut.
Yes.
That is amazing. That's fantastic. All right. Well, on that happy note, that will lead us right into today's topic, which is nervous system regulation. So, we're going to talk about it, your nervous system, what that looks like, what it is. Is it just some made up words? I don't know. Who knows? We guess we're going to find out.
You're sitting
could
at
be
the
fun.
edge of our seat. Yeah.
Edge of your seats to find out. Is this just some made up words? Or is there real science here? Dun, dun, dun. Actually, this is very important.
Science.
Science! That stuff we learned about in 8th grade and then promptly forgot about. It's fine.
I didn't know how to do my taxes leaving school, but by golly, I knew that A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Hold on. I have a very important question. Mitochondria.
Powerhouse of the cell.
Powerhouse of the cell. I didn't know my social security number, but I knew that.
Why does everybody know that?
And when has anyone ever used it? I'm serious. Please comment. Comment on this podcast. Have you had to use that in your career?
Unless you're a doctor, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I was gonna say scientists who are like, I have to look at the mitochondria all the time.
But like,
okay.
Why? Like, I want to know why. Who, what, when, where, why? Answer those questions if you had to use.
Biologist somewhere doing something.
Yeah, but like, why would they need to know the powerhouse of the cell?
Why do I need to know the powerhouse of the cell?
Exactly. That's what I'm asking.
I'm not a cellular biologist by any means. I'm sure they probably need to know that, but we don't.
Okay. Exactly, but when do we use it?
Know?
We don't.
Okay.
Fair point.
I don't know we're gonna sidebar real quick. Do you want to know the weirdest shit I remember from school? I remember the song about Christopher Columbus and the ships he sailed on.
I think
in like kindergarten and 1st grade.
We took a little trip along. No. Wait.
We sailed in 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Wait. I was thinking in in 18, we took a little trip along.
I don't know, famous rocket ship? No, those are little
No,
Einsteins.
we took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we caught the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept it coming. There wasn't as many as there was the night before.
So hold on. Let me time out for a second because the song that you're thinking, Arlene, was on uh the show with Even Stevens. It was on Even Stevens. I remember it. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And that's all I got. I just remember it being on Even Stevens with Shia LaBeouf. Bless his
Yeah,
soul.
yeah.
Prayers
We
going
learned
out
that in
for him.
school back in my day. We also learned that in school about the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa
And
Maria.
Santa Maria.
And why do I need to know this bullshit?
I only know that from Rage Against the Machine, by the way.
Perfect. But I know this and I remember this. But did I learn that he landed in America? Also correct. Did I learn that all of that was bullshit? Not until way later in life. Why do I remember weird things? Weird things. Very odd.
They're more interesting.
Like my brain remembers that song from back when I was like 5. But if you ask me what the fuck I ate for dinner yesterday, I'm gonna be hard pressed for that.
What is the song that I'm singing?
Nobody knows, Alex.
I don't know, but I want to know.
Also, though, if you do know, please let us know.
In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson on the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we caught the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. We fired our guns, but the British kept it coming. There weren't as many as there was the night before.
I just want you to know we took a little bacon.
And we took little beans.
Because we had to have
Brits
food.
in the town of New Orleans.
Yes, what is this,
I'm
Kel?
looking it up. I'm looking it up right
I just
now.
need you to know right now we took a little bacon and we took a little bean. Oh, fuck.
It's a song called The Battle of New Orleans by Johnny Horton. In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we caught the bloody British on the New Orleans, fired our guns, and the British kept coming. There weren't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run in on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. There you go. That's all you get from me. I found it for you, Alex. That's how much I love you. That is how much I love you.
Love you so much. Oh my God. Okay.
Shit.
It's a real song.
That's even worse than we made it up for school.
It is. Battle of New Orleans for anybody that wants to know by Johnny Horton.
Oh shit, that's too fucking funny. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about y'all, but my nervous system is regulated.
Oh,
Podcast over.
that's it. Thank y'all for coming.
One done.
Fuck. I have regulated it because what the fuck was that?
You just gotta find something a little bit more chaotic than your nervous system and you'll feel fine.
Right?
There we go. There we go. Find a little
My
more
nerves,
gas.
it's para. It is parasympathetic right now.
Yeah, it is. We are resting and digesting.
Oh, fuck. All right. On to the topic at hand. Woo. All right. Who wants to pick this topic up? Who wants to start as we talk about nervous system regulation?
Well,
Alex.
Well, as your local mind-body practitioner, I figured I might take a go at it.
She's going to take a stab at it in regulating your nervous system.
Just a little stabby stab, you know. All right, well, first and foremost, there are multiple parts to the nervous system. You just heard us say parasympathetic, but we also have the sympathetic, right? And the vagus is the whole thing. So you've got your vagus, your parasympathetic, and your sympathetic. Your parasympathetic is going to be that rest and digest. That's going to be when you're out of fight, flight, or freeze mode. Your sympathetic is going to be that fight, flight, or freeze. Sometimes your sympathetic can take over your parasympathetic, and your parasympathetic becomes dormant. And that is whenever you become heavily dysregulated. So you ask yourself, what does a dysregulated nervous system looks like? Well, if you receive an email from your boss and it feels like a tiger is chasing after you and you're fighting for your life before you even open it, that probably means you're dysregulated. If you're sitting
let me
on,
get this straight.
yes,
Shouldn't have a panic attack over an email.
you shouldn't have a panic attack over an email. Believe it or not, that should not be your response to an email.
Crazy.
I know, right? And let me tell you something else.
Should I
You know,
also not be researching? Do I get AIDS from toilet seats?
freaking Arlene, my gosh, calling out my OCD. It's getting
Shots
real.
fired. Pew pew. I haven't told you any of my OCD triggers lately, and remind me not to.
Yeah, for real, or she'll use them against you on a podcast. Yeah, no, that's a dysregulated nervous system for sure. For a little bit of background story for those who don't know, I have OCD. That's right, your resident doctor in traumatology has OCD. You wonder, you might ask yourself, how on earth does she do exposure therapy? Well, I myself get exposure therapy whilst in a session doing exposure therapy with my clients. But anyways, what happened was there was a toilet seat that was a little too dirty for me. And I just walked out, didn't use it, whatever. But my brain told me you got AIDS now because you were in the same facility, the same room as that toilet seat. That might not have been as clean as you wanted it to be. But you didn't use it, but you might have. You might have used it. Did you use it? Did you use that toilet? Did you? Did you? And then Arlene just so happened to text me and be like, "What are you doing this weekend?" And that's when I said, "Probably researching if you can get AIDS from a toilet seat." And there you go. But anyways, yes, that means you're dysregulated. If your sympathetic takes over that
You just told
parasympathetic,
that whole story too. That
yes.
was awesome.
I mean, we've got to fill in the people in the back so they know what's happening.
They could have also just been like, that was just the randomest shit I have ever heard.
But see, confession. Dysregulated nervous system. I felt like I had to explain that because I was called out
Oh,
because it felt
that's a good
personal.
point.
See, dysregulation. I regulated myself by over explaining, which by the way isn't really regulation.
I also, to help Alex have OCD and understand how that goes. So I don't know if my nervous system is also dysregulated by hers being dysregulated and wanting to help her feel regulated. I don't know. Maybe it's a cross wire kind of thing.
Oh no. I just want you to know I'm laughing at both of them. And that's friendship.
Yes, it is. When you laugh before you check on them, that's friendship.
It is true. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, listen, I also fell down the stairs because I tripped over fucking air.
What?
You heard me. You heard me. And I sat there and went, apparently this is my life now because the third time this happened in 3 weeks.
Air.
Air.
The
Air.
final frontier.
Final fucking frontier.
Oh my God. It's the eighth wonder of the world.
Air. I tripped over fucking air and just went, yep, this is my life now.
It wasn't one of your cats. It wasn't one of your dogs. It wasn't one of your children. It was air.
Fucking air. It wasn't anything. I tripped over air.
Ugh.
I tripped over there. That air
I
was
wonder
out to
if
get
you're
me. My house isn't even fucking haunted. I tripped over air.
My house is haunted.
So
ditto.
no.
Mine's
Nope.
also got some crazy freaking neighbors. Anyways,
Listen, we should have a whole episode about your neighbors sometime, but this ain't that.
no. But anyway, so dysregulation. One of the key understanding if you're dysregulated is if your stomach is acting up. If
Oh,
you are not able to digest properly, if everything is making you bloat, if everything is making you feel sick, if you're not feeling hungry and you're feeling full but you haven't eaten, if you're not using the bathroom correctly, that is a telltale sign that that parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest being the key word there, is not operating correctly, which means your sympathetic has taken over. And also, if you can't pay attention to anything, if you're sitting there watching a show and you're just zoning out, even if you're supposed to be quote unquote relaxing and you can't even focus on the TV, if you can't focus on what they're saying, if you can't even remember what happened 10 minutes ago in the show, you're probably dysregulated. It's like, I feel like I'm on that Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a redneck if. You might
Okay.
be dysregulated if.
All right. So speaking of this, how do I know if I am dysregulated or I'm just struggling with concentration because I have ADHD? What's the difference between the concentration piece?
Well, if you have ADHD, then that means that your brain is overactive, correct? And if your brain's overactive, where all of your nerves are landing and your nerve endings are there, could that not create dysregulation if you have a hyperactive diagnosis? So you might be both.
Question. If ADHD is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the threat is not, could you then find the absence of perhaps the stomach issues and what have you? Like, I'm not like feeling, dysregulated in my gastrointestinal area. I'm just lack of concentration.
Possibly. Possibly. So, the nervous system dysregulation looks different for everyone, and with every diagnosis, it's going to look different too. The main thing is, are you recognizing false warning signals being sent anywhere in your body? Like, for example, have you ever heard the phrase of the straw that broke the camel's back?
Oh yeah.
I would assume most people have.
Absolutely. So your nervous system could be on guard for a very, very long time, but that could be your quote unquote new normal, right? So we weren't born with this dysregulated nervous systems. They happen because of our environment, our learnings, our experiences, our traumas, our emotional distress, our diagnosis, our physical chronic illnesses, and stuff like that. So there's a multitude of different things that could happen to be nervous system dysregulation, and it looks different for everyone, right? But the straw that broke the camel's back, if you stub your toe on the side of the door, but you then have a complete and utter breakdown and you throw things across the room and you're crying and you're just having like this enormous reaction to something that may not be, deserving of said reaction, you've probably been dysregulated for a very long time and you didn't even know it. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back that told you, hey, you've been in safe mode for a long time and that's become your new normal. And you found out how to function in said new normal. So we've tried to get your organs operational, but you might have had IBS for most of your life, but then it evened out and you've been feeling fine lately, but your nervous system never did. So it really depends upon the person, the situation, the diagnosis, and how long you've been dysregulated because it could very easily become your new normal.
So, for instance, let's say we grew up in a chaotic childhood with adverse childhood experiences, right?
Mhm.
Like what we term ACEs, right? Um, we would then probably, on some level, our nervous system would adjust, we would adjust to constant dysregulation
Mhm.
until we are out of the chaos. And then we move into an environment where the chaos is the present, the trauma is no longer there, and it's calm, it's safe. The environment itself is no longer chaotic. And then we start to feel like everything in our body is starting to shut down. Doesn't seem like it's operating right. Can you explain that process for people of how shifting out of that mode
Mhm.
into like why that happens?
Yeah, because your brain is a muscle, right? It's just like any other muscle in your body. It gets worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. Well, eventually you just become like in this trance of doing the same thing over and over again. Like if an individual is running a marathon, by mile 7, you're just kind of in pilot mode, right? So your brain and your body are in pilot mode functioning in this environment. Well, let's say your marathon is over and you stop running and you're looking around and you're like, well, what now? And you take a step to walk, but your legs are jello and you feel unsafe in your own body and you're tingling and you're just like, I don't know what to do now. What do I do? I've been practicing for this marathon that my whole life. I ran the marathon. I've done the stuff. I've done the thing. I've worked and I worked and I worked and I got into pilot mode and I just kept going and now it's over. What? What? This isn't right. This isn't safe. So then your body starts creating chaos where there is none because it knows no other way to function. You just keep running. You just
It's
keep going.
the comfortable, familiar.
Yeah, it's the familiar, the constant overworked, overstimulation, the chaos is familiar. It's comfortable. It's where you're used to thriving in, even if it's unhealthy. That's the key. Just because you're comfortable in it doesn't mean it's healthy. That's why we have some of the chronic illnesses that we have is because it's constant dysregulation, fibromyalgia, vertigo, migraines, POTS, MCAS,
Wait,
IBS.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but
No,
POTS
you're
too?
fine. Yeah, POTS
Interesting.
POTS can come from a dysregulated nervous system. Long COVID is also a telltale sign of dysregulated nervous system because your immune system's not working properly. The thing is, your nervous system is literally the entire functionality of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Every nerve comes from your brain, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's all channeled down your neck into every limb, every organ, every single thing. Well, what do you think is running all of that? Your brain. And if your brain's dysregulated, it's upset, it's experiencing something that's not right. What do you think happens to all those nerves going to every part of your body?
Yeah, it's a
Just
fair point.
yeah, just because it's a mental situation doesn't mean it doesn't have a physical response because every single nerve, every single functionality comes from your brain. What's telling me to talk right now and involuntarily breathe while I'm wiggling my toes, while I'm thinking of the next thing that I'm going to say, while I'm going into my filing cabinet of what I know of nervous system dysregulation, all of that is coming from the one muscle in my body.
See, and that's a good point because when I work with my clients, I try to steer them away to a point from the idea of this is a mental illness versus a physical illness because it comes from the brain, and the brain is a physical part of the body.
Mhm.
And so it's coming from a physical part of the body, and that being the brain.
Mhm.
So it still is a physical illness. It still has physical being within the brain. And this kind of is touching a bit on that, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so if we're looking at this through a lens of holisticness, which, I jokingly tell my clients all the time, shockingly, you're a whole person. Your mental
Mm-hmm.
health impacts your physical health, and your physical health impacts your mental health, right? Like you're a whole person or some dumb shit. Like we're looking at this from a holistic viewpoint because you are in fact one, everything is
You're a
connected.
whole ass human.
Whole ass person, crazy. I know. Um, since we're discussing it in that context, right? You're talking about synthetic and parasympathetic and all of these things for people to understand that yes, everything is connected. Nothing is separate, right?
Uh-huh.
So then we come to this point of okay, recognizing I'm dysregulated. I've been dysregulated. Now what?
Oof, favorite question. Well, if we're treating the person as a whole, of course, number one, therapy. All right. Having someone that you can just process and move through your dysregulation with. And that's going to be the mental part of the dysregulation, right? That's going to be the emotional piece. That's going to be the trauma piece. That's going to be where you're healing from the circumstances that created the dysregulation. Number two, feeling safe in your own body. Well, that's going to look different for every single person. Feeling safe for one person might be being able to get in their car and drive 2 hours down the road by themselves. And that's where you're going to get that exposure piece in there, right? You're going to be exposing yourself to the things that you felt like you could not do because of dysregulation. And it's like, no, I could never feel safe doing that. Well, let's go ahead and try that. Number three, oh, and my favorite piece, number three, let's look at that nutrition, y'all. What are you putting in your bodies? Okay, because your body needs to be healthy in order to feel safe. All right, we want to get those good gut bacterias regulated. We want to get those fermented foods in there. We want to start at your gut and work towards your brain when it comes to that physical piece because your gut is your second brain. It holds every piece of that emotion that you've experienced over your life. So once we get those bacterias regulated, it's going to do wonders. What are we on? I lost count. Nerve endings. We want to look at your nerve endings and we want to start working with those. I'm talking the ones in your hands, your feet, the back of your neck. We're going to want to see acupuncturists. We're going to want to go to physical therapy. We're going to want to go and get regular massages. We're going to want to do some breath work that's going to regulate some of your brain body connection. And we're going to also want to work with ice. Yeah, that's right. Ice. Ooh, ice can do wonders for your body. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anytime you start feeling unsafe in your safe environment, I want you to get ice and I want you to put it on the back of your neck, hold it in your hands, or put it in the bottom of your feet because that is going to create regulation. It is going to calm your nervous system down. And last but not least, let's look at those disconnected parts. Okay, so disconnected parts are going to be the parts of your body that fire warning signs when they don't need to because your body is trying to compensate for that sympathetic taking over your brain. So let me explain. When you are constantly in hyperactive mode in your brain, your warning signals for something is wrong turn into just like little pings of like, oh, am I forgetting something? Oh, did my body just try to tell me something? Like they become unnoticed. And that's when your brain's like, I gotta get your attention somehow. And that's when it sends the signal to your body. And those disconnected parts are gonna be the parts of you that are being sent the warning signals because your brain is thinking that you're not getting the sign. And that could be tension in your neck, in your hips. That could be tingling in your fingers, in your arms, in your hands. That could be rapid heart rate, tightness of chest, stomach hurting. It could be anything, and it looks different for everyone. So once you start recognizing those disconnected parts, a quick and easy way for you to regulate yourself is going to be telling those parts, thank you so much. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for picking up the slack that my brain thinks it's holding right now. Thank you. Thank you for telling me I've got it from here. Reassuring that you're safe in your own body, reassuring those disconnected parts that they don't have to work overtime for you. Like you've got it. You're paying more attention. And that's when you go into the ruler skill. So the ruler skill was created by the Yale Director of Emotional Intelligence. It's RULER, regulate, recognize, understand, label, express, and regulate. And it's just a really good tool to use to regulate your emotions after you've told your disconnected parts like, "Hey, we're good. I'm gonna regulate this on my own." And that's when you can go into that. Anyways, that was a long little tidbit of a couple of things you can do to just help regulate yourself.
Okay. I want to circle back to something
Yeah.
because I think it's important, but I also I want some whatever, I'm going to come back. You talked
Just
about
go.
nutrition. And
Yes.
I think for some people, this might feel out of touch. This might feel out of reach for people.
Hmm.
Healthy food is expensive. And if I'm looking at this and I'm trying to make decisions right now, and we all know in this economy, everything's
Hmm.
expensive, right? What are some small ways that maybe might be less expensive or easier ways that I can still make good decisions that aren't going to be like, you know, I need to get a kale smoothie that cost me $32 when I don't got that.
Ah, I love this. I'm all about working smarter, not harder. I hate meal prepping, and I am not gonna prep some like tofu, Kiwan, yogurt, overnight oats things. I don't have the time.
Ugh,
For
I
those
hate
who,
quinoa.
right, but like for those who are able to take the time to do that, that is amazing. Props to you. I'm totally envious. But I'm all about working smarter, not harder. You can pick up a bag of frozen vegetables from Walmart for $1.98. And that right there can do 2 meals for you. Canned chicken. It's got two ingredients, water and chicken. Heat it up on a stove, put it on a salad. You've got this. The pre-mixed salads, that's just fine. And we're all about 80/20 over here, okay? 80% of the time, we're eating that healthy, nutritious food. It doesn't have to be a five-star meal. It doesn't have to be made from scratch. It doesn't have to be organic, picked from the farmer's market. It can be convenient, and that's just fine because that's going to be better than going and eating the what is said to be real meat from McDonald's. It's going to be better. That's going to be better. It's going to be healthier. So you don't have to go to the farmer's market and do that. You don't have to. We're looking at 80/20. 80% of the time we're eating that nutritious food. 20% of the time we're doing whatever our body wants as long as it's safe. If it's craving that ice cream from Dairy Queen, get the ice cream from Dairy Queen. If it's craving a donut, get a donut. We're all about 80/20. You want to,
Donuts.
yeah, right? I've been craving one like crazy. See, that's right. Even your nutritionist wants a donut. But the thing is, we're 80/20. We want that nutrients. It doesn't have to be five-star meal. We're looking for 5 ingredients or less in everything that you're picking up from the store for that 80%, and we want to know every single ingredient in it. That's it. That's all we got to do. And that could be, like I said, canned chicken. It could be those pre-made bags of tuna because here in the US, it's really, really, really hard to get away from processed foods. So if we are going to do processed, let's do 5 ingredients or less, everything that you know. That's going to be better than, I hate to say it, Doritos. You know, if we're picking up that Smart Pop popcorn instead of Doritos, amazing choice, guys. But if you're in your
Also, they're
20%,
yummy. Smart
yeah,
popcorn is delicious, by the way.
it is so good.
It
So
really
good.
is, man.
I
I'm
love it.
shocked, but it's delicious.
No, totally.
And you want to know what's the most important for your nutrition is that you're getting 90 grams of protein and 30 grams of fiber every day if you can. And I know that sounds like a lot, but if you do a protein shake in the morning, 12 ounces of chicken at night, and then you do some kind of good protein in the evening, you can get it easy. But that protein is going to be going to everything in your body. It's going to help cell reproduction. It's going to help digestion. It's going to help
It's gonna
restoration.
help that mitochondria.
It's going to help the
Yeah,
mitochondria.
powerhouse.
Yes, it's going to help your body feel safe because it's going to feel secure and it's going to feel full. And then that fiber is going to help with your digestion. That's going to help with your emotions and wow, I don't know what I was about to say there. Your brain gut connection.
Your
So,
breath. Yeah, it's gonna
your
help you breathe better.
it's gonna, yeah, I mean, it will because you're not gonna feel as weighed down, right? So, work smarter, not harder. It's all about the little things. 5 ingredients or less. You know all of them. protein and fiber. Those are some just great things that you can do to start with.
I really thought it was important to come back to the nutrition just because I think we have this conception of when we start talking about eating better, we immediately jump to the healthiest versions of food, which are so fucking expensive. And I will use our good friend McDonald's as an example. You go to McDonald's and a salad is $12 and a cheeseburger is $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're vastly more expensive. And so just recognizing like healthier food is more expensive. And if we're pitching pennies, right, where it's
Yeah.
harder to make healthier choices, but being able to say, like you're saying, you can still do it on a budget.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to jump in for a second, because I think that what Alex is saying is incredibly different from what influencers
Uh-huh.
are
Yes,
saying
it is.
on the TikTok and the Reels. Because what Alex is saying is very affordable, very simple, very pro body, pro just 5 ingredient, like what, feeds us simply. And influencers are like, you have to have all of these specific, fancy things that we need to do. And it really is as simple as just get your macros, your
I also
protein,
think
your fiber.
what Alex is talking about is more sustainable too, because she's
Absolutely.
also not talking about diet.
Yes.
She's talking about consistent eating behavioral changes.
Yes.
She's talking about something that is sustainable. So if you are looking at healthy habits, this is that. She's talking about, again, a whole holistic approach, which again, you feel from the head to a toe. So, the reasons diets and stuff don't work is because you cut things out. Again, Alex isn't discussing that. She said 80/20 like 9 times,
Mm-hmm.
9 fucking times, I swear. Eat what your body still wants. Don't give up the chocolate. Don't do those things. Still eat them, but make healthier choices most of the time,
Right.
right? And do it in better ways since that's affordable. And I really think that's the part, as like people feel like healthy food is often not affordable.
Exactly.
And coming back around to like Alex giving good examples of what was affordable and how to do that helps people who are like, I do want to do this, but those Doritos are cheaper than other things, which really I think the smart popcorn might actually be cheaper and you get more, and I think it's better. And I love Doritos too, guys.
Oh yeah, they're good. But
So
the great thing about popcorn is look at that
it's
fiber
it's
content.
also popcorn is like a free calorie food.
Yeah, but that fiber though, that's a great opportunity to get some fiber in.
Oh, you want to know this fun part about popcorn?
What?
You can share it with your puppies.
Yeah, you can.
I share a lot of things with my puppies.
Yeah,
I
but it's so
can.
safe for them. It's a free, safe puppy food.
It really
It's
is.
one for me, and one for you, and one for you, and one for
Unless
you, and
it's
one more for
cinnamon.
me.
Ugh.
It's a
And
side
Yeah.
note to popcorn, by the way. If that didn't sell you on popcorn, I don't know what to do.
Popcorn is so good. And there's just like there's a lot of really good options out there for health that you just don't even recognize. And you get a bag of carrots for like $2 and then you get let's see here, you can get a bushel of apples for I think 5 and then you can get a jar of
Also
peanut
good to
butter.
share with your dogs.
Yep, you can get a jar of peanut butter and then walnuts and then some feta cheese and then a thing of lettuce and there you go. You've got yourself salads for like 2 weeks almost. And it's great. And I'm a huge fan of frozen vegetables because I am always on the go and I can just pop those in the microwave, put some salt and pepper on it, pair it with some chicken, and there you go. I've got a fiber protein rich food And we're looking at the 4-plate rule, guys. The 4-plate rule. That's going to be your protein, your healthy carb. That's right. I said carbs. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Carbs. Okay. Carbs. They're important. You want to look at those good carbs. Okay. So we got our protein, our carbs, our fruits, and our vegetables. If we're hitting that 3 times a day, have that ice cream at the end of the day. Have that chocolate bar. Have that Snickers. Treat yourself. Have a Coke. Whatever. Get your 20 in, okay? It is so important to make sure that you're giving your body that little bit that it is craving because it's not asking for much, okay? Couple bites of a chocolate bar is going to be satisfied. It's going to be happy. And guess what? You didn't tell it no. You didn't ban it. You didn't make it feel bad about itself for wanting it, okay? 80/20. I love it. Anyways, that's my rant. Thank you for
Perfect.
coming to my TED Talk.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Alex. I think there's some really good information there. I'm trying to think if I have any questions, but I don't think I do.
No, I don't think I
do.
do either.
Alex, if somebody would like to find you to work with you, what states are you licensed in?
I am licensed in Florida, Delaware, Minnesota, and Virginia. But the great thing is, if you guys want to come to me for nervous system regulation, nutrition consulting, dietary supplement education, or nervous system, I already said that, never mind. If you want to come for that holistic treatment, I am international and national. Reach out to me. If you want the clinical, that's going to be that Florida, Virginia, Delaware, and Minnesota. But if you want that nutrition piece or that holistic piece, reach out. I'm here. Like I said, nationally and internationally.
So excited.
Yeah.
My girl's a rock star.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, I appreciate the conversation today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And as for everyone who hung out, I hope you learned some good things. I hope you picked up some good stuff. And as always, give us a like, a follow, a share, a comment or 2 or 12, whatever. Let your friends know. Let your enemies know. Let someone you think needs some therapy know. If you know anybody who you're like, ooh, they could benefit from some advice that Alex gave today, also send them, Keep them guessing. That's what I say. Never know why they're getting this. Be like, hey, I heard a thing. If you also are interested in another podcast, Kelly's got her own now.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, because my girl's also a rock star.
Thank you. Is this my
Kelly,
turn to like?
It is. What's your name of your podcast?
Oh, the podcast that I have is called Hellbilly, The Darker Side of Appalachia, and in it I explore the, as aptly named, the darker side of Appalachia, specifically the central parts of Appalachia and the parts that nobody talks about that everybody should talk about and everybody ignores. So we take a deep dive into coal, addiction, sex trafficking, mental illness, folklore, um, all of those things. And I do it with a little bit of a sarcastic tint because that's just who I am as a person.
Perfect. Also, give her a follow, find her, you guys know who she is by now. Find her. Do the
Thank you.
things.
I'm on Spotify and Apple as of now and moving forward.
Perfect. With this episode, I will also connect Alex's website. So if you guys are interested in any of her services, you know how to find her. So it's not a mystery as you're wondering who the fuck Alex is. Because I just call her Alex.
You know, I often wonder that myself. Who am I?
He's the existential over here, like, who am I? And on those notes, that's where we're gonna leave you. We're all gonna wonder, who am I tonight? All right.
We could be doing worse things.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Unwinding with Support Group. Follow us on Substack. Give us a like, a follow, Give us a comment. Tell us what you hated, what you like, what you want us to talk about next. Let everybody know where they can find us too. But thanks for hanging out with us once again.